Hi, this is Doug from Courtney Sports Cards. I'm back for the second part of our video on supplies. The first part is mostly on bulk storage. The second part is going to concentrate mostly on single cards. First of all, Ultra Pro makes some holders. There's a single card. Basically, these are really good if you use with these stands for if you want to display something on your desk. Or they also make these in two cards. They have a triple card. They have a 4 card. They also make a 6 card. They make a 9 card also. These are real thick plastic and very sturdy. There's also one they make for 8x10s. So basically there's something you want to put on your desk or something at work. You can take these and you could even like do that. Maybe it's got like your 3 favorite players on it. You can put it on your desk that way. These stands will also hold top loaders and various different things you can stand up using these to display stuff, maybe in a cabinet or something. Next thing we'll talk about is baseballs. This is called a ball and card holder. You can put a card, then the autographed baseball. You can put in there and display it like that. Also, they make a cube. It's a nice little ball holder which you can stack multiple baseballs with if you choose to do. And they also make one that's a little bit fancier. It's called a gold baseball holder. Basically, if you're showing an individual ball, you can put them in these. They're a little bit fancier than the cubes, but the cubes are more stackable, so depends on your preference. One thing I'll mention about these is autographs. Anytime they're exposed to light, they will fade. All autographs will fade. Fluorescent light does a lot of damage on autographs, and the sun is a real killer on any type of autograph item. On ball holders, if you're really concerned about it fading, they do make ball holders where they're UV protected these days. The card autographs and stuff will still fade in UV protection, but they last a lot longer. If you look up like Ultra Pro, you'll see UV protected holder, and it says you're guaranteed to help your cards for 5 years. So that still tells you they're not guaranteeing it for lifetime, that your cards or autographs will fade. So that's a thing to consider if you got something, if you really want to preserve an autograph, best way is to put it somewhere in a drawer when there's no light. Of course, then you can't enjoy it, so it's a tough decision there on what you like to do. Next thing I'll show you is top loaders. They make top loaders at all different points, all different sizes. You can get the points like these are 130s, they'll hold like a thick jersey auto. These are 180 point, they'll hold like a huge card inside of them. These are 100 point. They also make them in 75 point. They make them for regular cards. Normally when we display stuff in our shop, if you watched our video on a tour of the shop, if you looked at the shelves, you'll notice that top loaders are what we use to display our cards. Basically, they're fairly cheap, and also the protection's pretty good on a top loader. So that's why we choose to use top loaders. You can also get top loaders in larger sizes, like that, like that. There's also various other sizes. They make top loaders for Beckett's. This one here happens to be for an 8x10. You can also get these UV protected if you choose. So if you got an 8x10 auto and you put it in one of these and you want UV protection, you can get them with UV protection. Also, one more thing on top loaders. On your cards, always use a card slip, because when you put the card into a top loader, they tend to sometimes get scratched, especially on a Topps Chrome or Topps Finest or something like that. They scratch very easy. So you want to sleeve them before you put them into this. Otherwise you're defeating the purpose of protecting them in the first place if you're going to damage them putting them in. Now these here are screw downs. These used to be very popular back in the day. They come in different ways. Beware of screw downs. As you'll notice, there's no bevel for the card on these. What has happened over the years with ones without bevels is when you screw the card in, if you screw it in there and it sits in there long enough, the card will stick to the holders. Over a period of 10, 15 years, they will stick. I've seen, matter of fact, I've seen a card come in one of these. A guy brought in a Robin Yount 75 mini card for sale. And he asked if I wanted to buy it, and it looked near perfect in the case. And I'm going, yeah, I'm interested in it. The only problem is I noticed he hadn't card slipped it in here. And so I wanted to see if it would come out of the case. We opened up the case, and that Yount had adhered itself to the case, and the card was ruined. So you can, you buy something to protect it, have it in there all those years, and you can still defeat the purpose if you're not careful. These used to be real popular back in the day. You don't see them as much. You can also get a pouch, a zip pouch, and this fits inside of here. It looks really fancy, but usually when I see somebody using these days, they'll take a top loader and they'll screw it into here. Also, if you're using screw downs that are non-recessed, such as this one or that one, make sure that the surface is clean. Because when you screw the card down, I've seen people screw a little tiny piece of plastic or a little fleck of dirt right into the card and put a dent in it. So you got to be careful using this type of stuff. Now they do make screw downs these days that are recessed. Your card sits inside of it. These are a little bit better protection for your card these days. I would pretty much suggest if you're buying these to get recessed ones. This is for thick cards. It's a single screw. It's also recessed. This is the same thing for a different thickness of a card. It's also recessed. Now on these you cannot use card slips. On the flat ones you can, but on the recessed ones they won't fit right. If you use a card slip, you'll end up screwing the case into the card. So on recessed ones, don't use card slips. On non-recessed, make sure you do so they don't stick. Okay, next thing I got is mini snaps. They just pull apart and snap together. These are really good. I use these for shipping. They're small, they're light, they're cheap, and you can just open it up, snap the card in it, put a couple pieces of cardboard around it to give it a little extra protection. I've never had any problem with shipping using these. Now there's the card sleeves I've been talking about. Use those whenever possible. They do make these in different sizes. There's 130 point for thicker cards, jersey cards. That's a basic size. These are for vintage cards. Stuff 52 to 56 are oversized cards. They do make these in different sizes, so depending on what you need. They also make some of these where the corners are cut, which makes it easier to stick them in, keeps you from damaging the corners. These are team bags. You basically can use them for what they say. It's a team. You can put like a Dodgers team set or an Angels team set or whatever in one of these, and there's a little peel off thing. You just peel it off and then it sticks down on the bag and closes it. These I mentioned in the first video. They're graded card sleeves, and I suggest if you got high dollar cards that have been graded, you definitely get a pack of these and sleeve your graded cards to keep them from getting scratched up. Next thing I got is called card savers. It's a couple different sizes. Always use a card sleeve when putting cards into these also. These are real flimsy. They do give you a little bit of protection though. Now on this larger size, this is the one that Beckett uses for graded submissions, also PSA. They require that you use these card saver ones. But do yourself a favor, if you're sending something in to get graded, do not just put the bare card in it. Card slip it first, at least for a little bit more protection. Hopefully someday PSA or Beckett will let you send your stuff in with more protection than just those flimsy things. Now these here, pretty much, these are one of the most popular these days for displaying your nice cards. This is a 130 point. They have them at 75 points. Let's see, this one's open here. Basically, it's magnetic. It's embedded, so you can stick your card right into it. It won't float around. There's two little hinges at the bottom and a magnet at the top. These are really nice for displaying your higher dollar cards these days. A little bit more expensive, but a whole lot nicer. And there's all different sizes for them. There's a 35 point, which is for your basic size card, thickness wise. There's a 55 for one a little bit more thicker. There's hundreds. Then for huge cards, there's 180s. Also lately, they've came out with a one for booklets. It's all magnetic. Comes with a stand. And if you have a booklet card, you can open it up, lay it in here, then it magnetically closes. Stand it up, display it if you want. That's going to do it for our video on card collecting. If you got any questions about supplies or any comments, feel free to post them below, and I'll be sure to look back and answer any questions you might have regarding card protection. Thank you.